Mm.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the 34th episodes of DevKami. I'm Chileong.
I am Tristan,
And I'm
and we have
Nicholas.
Yeah,
Nicholas
Oh,
joining us.
76.10. Yeah.
yeah.
Hey,
We
talk
don't have
time to
Chileong
rock.
yet. Yeah,
Mm.
so
Yeah.
we'll go to our usual schedule for the
Yep.
events happening.
Mm-hmm.
What's happening this week? So we open devcomi.com/meetups. Look at the calendar. Uh, what is happening this week? Saturday is the next event. It's Introduction to JavaScript
Yeah,
this is by Malcolm, right?
I have no idea.
And
It's
it's
by the
not by
IO
me.
Foundation by
Yeah,
John.
Oh no, so
by
this is
Sean.
not the Malcolm one.
Yeah,
The Malcolm one is a thing of sometime later in
Mm.
yeah,
Magic Cyberjaya
So it's
on the 25th.
I guess this is for beginners,
yeah,
like people who would like to learn JavaScript.
yeah. I'll
And
be
it's
there. I'll be there to record this as well.
Mm. So it's a
Uh,
whole day from 10:30 to
yep,
4:30 at the Starling Mall.
yep.
Okay. Where will you
Yeah,
be
collapse
announcing
the
the
starting.
recording?
Be announcing on everywhere, like
Mm.
the even the DevKami um Facebook channel, Facebook page.
Mm-hmm. And also the Engineers My Slack channel, right? And
Yep,
also
the face
the wherever
Telegram
they're
group. Yeah,
yeah,
Facebook.
wherever the event is actually happening. I
Yep.
think in Meetup. Is it happening on Meetup? Like they did they announce this on Meetup?
I'm not sure,
Which one?
but
The introduction to JavaScript.
Oh, that one it was announced on PTX.
okay.
PTix. So
Yeah.
probably.
Yeah.
Okay. So the next one, well, it's actually on the same day,
Yeah.
on the afternoon. It's computer vision, open CV applications. What's strange is that they're saying this is an online webinar, but when Firdaus first shared this on the Slack channel, it says it's at the Starbucks Cafe at Nexus Bangsar South. So I'm not sure
Mm.
That's
where
really
it's
weird.
supposed to be.
Yeah.
Like,
Because
is that, yeah?
they actually put up a hangout link on the meetup page.
Yeah. But where is the actual
Oh,
event, right? Like, is it happening in Starbucks and they're just um, live
Yeah,
streaming it, or
probably both.
is it because there's too many people and then they said, oh, maybe too many people will come, and
Yeah,
so we stop. We're not going to be doing this physically. We're just going to do this online.
I'm not sure.
Yeah. So, I will probably go take a look at Starbucks if they're there, and
Yeah,
then just like see if I can butt in. Otherwise, I'll just watch it online.
yeah,
yeah.
If
I'll
anyone,
be at the starting more. So if I find the JavaScript lessons a bit 101, then I might listen with one ear with that one.
Mm, okay, so that's actually the only thing happening until
I
next
Until
think
week.
the
I'm not sure.
25th.
Wednesday there's a DevOps, but it's not on the calendar yet. I need to
Yeah,
confirm because
yeah.
it's
So
not
I guess,
announced.
so it's not confirmed yet. The DevOps meetup.
Yep,
Mm,
because it's actually on Monday is a replacement for the public holiday on Sunday. So and on Wednesday is another public holiday. So we have a lot of public holidays.
yeah. So
Yeah,
it's two public
Yeah.
holidays next
yeah,
week,
yeah,
but yeah, I guess so. I guess people would probably be taking the Tuesday off, and so
yep,
they have like a 5-day weekend, right?
yep. That's
Mm,
what people did.
yeah. Because the next one in the calendar is a Saturday, 9:30, the Maxis IoT Challenge introduction
Yes.
roadshow. So
And
I saw the link. So I saw the what they call this, the agenda of this. So let me just bring it up. What's interesting
mm,
is um, they're saying that at 11:25 to 11:45 they have a starter kit and Azure
Oh, it's
introduction.
actually confirmed. The default meetup is confirmed. I'm gonna put it in the calendar.
Okay.
It'll be on the 21st, which
The
is Tuesday.
Tuesday. Oh, they're doing it on a
Yeah.
Tuesday.
At Microsoft Malaysia,
Mm-hmm.
the usual time 7 to 9 p.m.
Mm.
Yep.
All right, greetings.
Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So are we talking about
We're
what's
talking
that?
about DevOps 21. So the 21st of this week. So that's
Uh-huh.
like Tuesday next week is happening. DevOps is happening
Yep.
at
Cool.
Microsoft Malaysia.
Cool
Yeah.
office
Yes.
and near place to eat at Brickfields, and there's this cool place in front which is mostly for yoga, but
Mm,
they got a cool statue and it's
yeah.
3 years old.
And I was talking about uh because before DevOps came out that there was a lot of holidays, and so actually the only thing that's happening by next week is the one on Saturday, the Maxis IoT event. And I was
Mm-hmm.
saying what's interesting is 11:25 to 11:45. There's a starter kit and Azure introduction, so it
Yeah, yeah,
might
yeah.
be it might be worth it to just go there for the starter kit. I wonder what this starter kit is.
It's a NB-IoT and Raspberry Pi because I already got the brochure from
Oh
a
wow,
friend. I
okay,
already
cool.
registered. So NB-IoT
Wow.
is different. Is actually cool because it's designed for small scale devices, not just a Pi.
Mm-hmm.
And it's unlike Wi-Fi. Yeah, essentially, it's more like your 3G, 4G. Once it's
Mm.
connected, that's it until there's no signal,
Mm.
right?
Did
So
I
it's
wonder
handled
if I
behind the scene.
registered? Did I register for this event? I wonder if I can still register. I'm just there for the well, I want to understand what they're trying to do, but also I want the swag.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think you should go. But my problem is it might be user pitch of for smart city and stuff. But you get the kit.
Okay.
You know what? My internet is bad. Let me.
No, it's okay.
Okay.
It seems to be okay.
All right. Huh. Wonder what happened.
Yeah. So because I just received my M5 stack yesterday, right? And
Yeah.
there's this thing here that says Microsoft Azure, and I was
Yeah.
actually thinking maybe they will sponsor M5 stacks during this event. That would be
I
cool,
doubt
but
it
I don't think. Yeah, this is expensive.
because put it this way. Okay, this is very off topic, but Malaysian industry do not heard of development kit outside of Raspberry Pi, and it's very marketing driven. So the
Mm,
IoT is essentially back to the time where people consider a Linux computer on that is IoT.
mm,
Not wrong, it's a small scale device that can connect to internet, but there's a lot more
yeah.
than the
Oh,
design wise,
I
right?
forgot to
Mm-hmm.
record.
Currently at the promotion and technical side, they are at that level, not on embedded system design level.
Yeah.
So a lot of fluff. I'm sorry to say, other than the fact they have a
No,
NB-IoT infrastructure, it's a lot of
I think
fluff.
it's a different circle.
Mm-hmm.
Because I mean,
So
considering because I worked in
Yeah.
the field before, so it's a different circle. They are not exactly software people.
Mm-hmm.
Hardware and people and software people don't talk together, and they don't work actually
Hmm.
meet each other's that often. I can say.
yeah, so
No,
It's a
so
different
there's
stack.
always a
so
good
okay, let's move on.
yeah, but so there's always like a good middle ground eventually. So that's why maybe this event would be a good place to
Yeah,
eventually. So yeah, again, this is next
register.
week. Uh,
Yeah,
we're probably going to repeat this again next week on
Yep.
Thursday on the
yeah,
podcast. But
Yep.
if you're a software developer and you've never heard of IoT before, then I think you should register for this event. Find out what is this thing about. It's not just about Raspberry Pis on
no,
boards or whatever, right? There's a
no,
lot of
no.
things happening here.
Uh, yeah, if you're new to it, you get some inspiration of what is
Yeah.
possible.
Mm-hmm.
So what next?
Okay.
Buzz corner. There's a
I think
lot
that's
of
about
there's
it.
a lot of buzzes around for
Mm.
this week. A lot
What
of
kind of
critical.
buzzes?
Yeah.
Oh, Buzz
Yeah.
The
Corner.
Oh,
big huge one.
I don't know. I
The
don't like to talk about. I really do not like to talk about WhatsApp because I don't really care about consumer. I don't really like to talk about consumer technology, but sometimes it's
right.
just not really clear. Which is why I really
Why you
don't
don't
like to
care
talk
about it?
about WhatsApp.
I don't care about it. There's a lot of
I
people
mean,
using it.
we have too many people talk about consumer technology.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Okay. Very well.
So that's my
Anyway,
thing. I'm sorry.
Okay.
So I would just think that we should be more software development focused. But that's just me. I'm not DevKami,
So who is
right?
Right.
DevKami?
Let's say we had a lot of things interesting
Apparently,
already.
people been seeing my face because I focus on I accidentally click on my face. So for the last 14 minutes, people are seeing my face. So now,
So how far do we want to go back from the past?
What pass?
Do we want to talk starting from 9 or something? But let me find out what is considered as last week first.
No, this week is the critical one is the new discovered vulnerability of Intel.
Yeah. That,
It's a
Mm.
it's a
Also,
rehash
what's
of
up?
the Spectre thing, right?
Yeah.
no,
it's
it's
the-
Yeah.
another new one.
but
it's a new one, but it's
New
the same speculative execution
Yep.
attack.
Yep.
It's the
Correct.
same, not exactly the same bug, but it's the same
Yeah.
theme,
Same
I
MO.
guess.
Yes.
So it happens because of the hyper threading model of Intel, right?
Yep.
So it
Yes.
would seem that if you have an i5, or the desktop i5, which has, let's say, 4 cores, no hyper threading, it's actually better than the i7, which has 4 cores, but with multi-threading. So it seems that it's 8,
Yep.
Yes.
something like that, right?
Yeah.
So
I didn't know.
what
I
what
didn't
Yeah.
and if you want to be like, if you're really paranoid that someone is attacking you, and if you have an i7, then you would probably go to your BIOS and disable hyperthreading, and that should be okay, because that means there's no
But hyperthreading
speculative
originally is created because
execution.
hyperthreading is because computer can only have one core, and it's a consumer one, so you need to squeeze out the power. And I think you get some performance hit, but
turn out the power efficiency.
computers are
was
so fast
good
nowadays,
last time.
right?
Mm.
So
So,
I think it's also a reminder on how engineering process work. A microprocessor is one of those things that you really cannot update. So
Well,
but it's don't
Yeah, most hardware is like that as well. Most of the deployed
no.
hardware,
In fact, all hardware is like this.
yeah.
Unless there is a mode, unless
unless
it had
streaming told you so, Tristan.
so unless there is something that has an operating system, then you can have fixes on software level.
Yeah.
then
but-
then you have another issues of I think we're gonna gradually talk about this. Then you have the issues like the oh crap, I forgot about the name. The boot system that we have
Yes.
on our motherboard.
Yeah,
The what do you call that again?
bootloader,
No, not bootloader.
firmware.
Yeah, what do we
BIOS.
call? Yes, but nowadays
3
what do we
words.
use?
1, 2.
I forgot the
No.
name.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but do you remember the
Oh, the
times
UFI.
when you bought UEFI?
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
anyway. So do you remember the
Mm.
times when games were in discs, and you don't have internet, so the patches don't come, like you have to like you can't update the game anymore. Whatever exploits are
Yes.
there, right?
Yes.
And that's like around, like this is the same similar situation. It's just that
correct.
there's actually not a lot of things to update. Like the
Yes.
hardware is fixed in that sense, and you can patch software on top of it so it can be guarded against it, but it's going to make it more inefficient. And the only way to fix it is to develop a new product that doesn't have the flaw.
Yeah. So
So
essentially,
that's generally how it works.
there's this thing called product recall. It happened before. It happened often. Airbag, the airbag had to recall cars and all that.
Mm-hmm.
So
Well, that's because there is a safety issue. I think what's happening here is that it's not really clear what
it's not too
kind.
bad.
Yeah. Well, it's not that it's not too bad. It is bad if it's exploited, but there are no
Yeah.
known
Put it this
exploit
way.
vectors.
Yeah. The what call it, the data exploit can, because if you're a home user, you're basically using as one person.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So you don't get much.
The impact is lesser.
The
Put it this way.
vector
Yeah.
is less than data center, but for data center is very significant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is more of a problem of a data center.
Correct.
And the problem is that most of our really fast machines are in the data centers because we're
Correct.
moving again, like it's been a trend so far that swimming is talking about. We're moving back to where you have a terminal and you have a supercomputer at the other end. We're moving
Yeah.
back to this particular paradigm. And
Mhm.
if your hub is slow, then everything else slows down because
Correct.
it can't keep up.
Mhm.
What do you call this now? What's the technical term for that? Edge
It's called,
devices? No, the terminals, edge devices. Is that an edge device?
yeah, nowadays the hit word for it is called edge devices.
Yeah. Edge
So
servers.
no, not edge servers. When you talk about edge server, you're talking about CDN, and when you talk about edge
Right.
devices, they talk about people that is outside the network. I'm not outside the network, at the end of the network,
Yeah.
i.e. your house, your camera, and all
Oh,
that.
Like for example,
AKA
the
client is edge devices, the new name for client.
for thin
Yes,
client.
precisely,
Yeah,
right?
for thin
But
client.
Nowadays, I
except
can just call all my clients as edges.
yes, but put it this way, in a way, your web server is a client when they start talking to CDN cache server, right?
Yeah. It is a client,
So
but it's not an edge client.
yeah, see, when you use client, things get a bit more complicated.
Oh, so edge means the end user, something like that.
It's the last link.
Yeah.
What
So
happened? Yeah. Swimming dropped off.
yeah, the
Okay.
edge the edge client.
Yeah, the edge.
I'm sorry, I had
The-
problem with marketing driven technical term,
Mm.
right? I had problem with that. So if I drop out internet, it's possibly because of that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, so a lot of
Somebody's
people are
watching.
doing all of these edge stuff like mesh
Yeah.
networks, etc. is because if everything goes through a centralized hub, then there's also also easier to snoop on the traffic, right? Because there's only one
Correct.
place for you to look at. Whereas if
Yes.
everything is happening on the edges, then that means the insertion point has to happen on all the edges as well. It's
Well,
about
that's a theory, right?
yeah.
Offside, I've been talking about absolutes. So the thing is, that is true, but the opposite also true, because when you implemented bad protocol, then you can be snooped either way
Yeah.
on
Well,
the
then
user side.
that means that in order to snoop everyone, then you have to be to capture the packets
Correct.
for everyone. So it's basically a 1:1 ratio. Whereas if
Yes.
you have a star, sorry, was this a star? No, a hub and spoke pattern, then it's only how many hubs you have that you need to sniff. So it becomes a
Correct.
lot easier for that. But then again, you're right that the protocol, how secure it is or how not secure it is, it's like a multiplier effect to how easy it is or how difficult it is to um, snoop on
Correct.
people.
Because this is precisely what happened to WhatsApp.
Mm-hmm.
Despite I do not like to talk about consumer technology.
No, we talk about the security thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what
So
happened
the
to
thing is,
WhatsApp?
Right. Yeah, we need to cover WhatsApp.
so
Yeah.
WhatsApp actually had a vulnerability where there's a spyware on it for a while. Is it state attack or it is just an attack?
No, right now it is. Let's not like put any like speculative things, but what proven right now is it is discovered that there is a
There's
security
a problem.
exploit. Yep, that you can send a malicious payload over. I mean, masquerade as a WhatsApp call, and regardless whether
So as
the
long as you receive the message, it
not
triggers
yeah,
some kind of a
as long as
buffer.
is
Uh,
the recipient doesn't even need to take up the call. Yeah, it doesn't mean
So
that it receive it as you just go straight through.
so this is one of those cases where the attack is, even though WhatsApp is relatively centralized in a way, or is distributed as well, but you get the idea, right? The attack goes
Hey,
through and
Sivik,
it's not absolute.
Are you? Is that you?
Oh yeah, I play with the belt. I'm sorry.
All right.
I
Oh,
played with my belt had the clicking thing.
Yeah.
All right,
now
so,
I know.
And then
so
to make sure
this
just
goes back.
And then make sure just in case you're try to send me some malicious payloads.
So
In Morse
this
code,
is a
right?
case
Yeah.
where
Help
the
me!
attack is
I am kidnapped.
Yeah.
yeah. So this is where the situation where the attack is on the client side, right? On the edge side, right?
Mm-hmm.
On the client side. So, but if you really want, you can go to Google, which have all the logs and all that, etc., etc. I'm saying the opportunity exists, but you do not need centralized this. On the security side, it may not be as strong as a relationship. It just means that there's different way to attack. WhatsApp represent one of those distributed style of attack,
Yeah. So
whereas the Intel one is centralized, a bit more
Mhm.
centralized.
So, for example, in WhatsApp, there are two modes of attack. What you're saying is like this edge attack, where you send a payload, it causes a buffer overrun on the application, which causes a
Yeah.
remote code execution,
Yep.
uh,
Correct.
unintended. There's also a way for like governments, let's say, to talk to WhatsApp uh, company managers and say, hey, keep this hush hush secret, but we need access to all of these
Yeah.
people. And then they just, so
Correct.
it's like on the other end, on the hub, because
Which
it's a
is
centralized application.
Or something a lot
awesome.
simpler. Somebody inside the staff have access to it and decided
Mhm.
to sell information because it's interesting. I
Yeah.
believe this actually happened for telco,
Mm.
where the
Mm.
leak stories that happen.
Mm-hmm.
So centralized and decentralized attack. So it's implementation. So that's my point. And whether centralized or decentralized is safer, I do not believe there is any strong because that both way of attack is feasible right now.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my thing, right?
Did
So
they patch that? I didn't catch up about the
is
news.
it?
Did they offer a patch for that vulnerability?
Yeah,
Okay.
I do not know what happened next, but as far as concerned, people still send me phone thing, so I need to stop watching pictures on my
No,
phone.
it's not pictures.
Pictures,
It's
pictures.
called-
No, I need
That's
to
right.
be careful about how I use my phone now. That's my point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, all right. So, what's the next thing that happened other than WhatsApp and Intel?
More vulnerabilities, if you want to know about it.
More.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
This is why I
a
want to
season
find
of
a cave to
vulnerability.
stay now, or become a farmer and cut myself off internet, writing manifesto in a rural Malaysia. Just kidding. Ignore me. On the writing manifesto part.
Mm.
Chi Leong had a nice view at his back though.
Yeah, well, not if it's hazy.
Yes, I noticed.
Oh, speaking of hazy, what happened to
Oh my
the
goodness.
sensor?
Mm.
Wait. I just
Is
realized
that
I forget to turn on. I forget to turn on the recording.
No, don't worry about it. We're not recording the thing. So
Oh, I'm recording it.
I'm not. It's
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
I
We'll
just
do it
come.
next year.
Okay,
Next
another
week.
thing here that is a very is actually very serious as well. Is also on Microsoft Windows. It
Oh yeah.
affected all lines of or even and far until Windows XP.
Mhm.
It's something it's called vulnerable flaw, which is something like a WannaCry.
Okay.
So and it's very serious that Microsoft actually developing patch for even XP, right? Until
Yeah. There's the latest patch for XP.
Mm.
Correct.
so yep. Expect that to happen. Patch your Windows machine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or
Always
else,
update. And unless it's company policy, but I don't know.
yeah.
So what kind?
So I think
What kind of Microsoft update is this? Is it a forced update?
I don't
Uh,
think Windows XP had force update. Well,
Because I
did they?
remember they said that they are not going to be doing this forced update anymore. They're not going to download the updates unless you actually click on allow updates.
Yeah.
Like because it used to
mm.
be it used to be
They force
This
your way
feature
through.
is used to be for only for corporate clients, like where because you have a system IT staff that rolls out the updates for you, right? And so you can actually trigger uh on to stop updates,
Right.
but
Yeah.
they say they're going to roll it out to every version of Windows. I'm
Yeah.
not sure if this is going to
But
happen.
for the older ones, I remember
Mm.
you can actually download the patch and apply it manually.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I'll
Well,
advise like because especially for older operating system, unless it is as necessary, try to use the latest version.
Mm.
Yes.
yeah.
Unfortunately, this is where things get expensive, but we should just use open source software in that case. But they just all
Well,
right. So,
yeah.
what else, what other thing you want to talk about? Oh, the haze sensor, right? You're asking.
Yeah, there's like a 400. Is that
Okay,
actually what
so
happened?
no, I do not believe this is the case, but because as far as concerned, my house didn't burn down,
Yeah, so maybe that's what happened,
and
right?
also it happened at the time where nobody should be at home.
Uh-huh.
So unless somebody drive a very bad car, but here's an observation that I have. Recently, when I go home and check on the sensor, it actually crashed.
Oh.
It's actually really crap. So what I mean by crash, it means that did I crap? Did I
No, no, no.
send some?
No. Don't worry about it. Chilyong is playing around with the controls. So you
Okay.
mentioned the sensor crashed.
I do not know whether it's a software crashes or the sensor crashes. I do not believe it could very well be the software because the software is developed naively.
Mhm.
As in, I didn't test for the reliability or log errors or whatnot. So when I go home, I usually have to restart it.
Mm.
So it's not 100% reliable. So patch will come. I might get help with. So one of my friend, he tried to. He brought a set of M5. So I may borrow a few from him to double test the hardware and whatnot.
Mm.
But I strongly suspect. That it's actually okay.
Yeah, you strongly suspect that it's actually.
Software problem that I didn't implement properly.
Mm. So that's why
Uh,
it's causing the
Oh.
sensors to crash.
yeah. Chances it could be just the M5 device the expression.
Mm.
Highly possible, but I don't have proof
Okay.
yet.
I haven't
I need
had
to implement that.
so I haven't had a long-term test yet because I'm going all out on my own implementation with a solar panel, lipo recharging, all of these
Correct.
things. Because when I put it outside, then I don't want to fiddle with it anymore. I just put it outside and that's it. That's
Yeah,
why
I
I'm doing.
understand.
Eventually, I will do a full test. Like how long will it take? Hopefully, it's on. Like I can calculate it to about like 3 months before I have
Okay.
to like maintain it. But yeah, so probably over this weekend I'll try and see what I can do.
All right.
Yeah, cool.
Oh,
So
there's
speaking
something
of,
happening
do
with
you,
that country.
yeah,
Don't worry about that.
yeah.
But
So do you want me to show my hoarding tendencies?
now show me.
I
Okay. Put this way, I have the same problem as well.
I don't know what happened. That's why I said help me. I just found a box of ESP32s and 8266 and I still have 3. I checked my AliExpress orders. I still have
Mhm.
3 coming. Like I realized why do I have so many of these? But
Yeah.
I'll show them one by one then. So
Yeah, this you
the
can.
latest one is yesterday, which is this one. This is called the M5 Stick C. So
Yeah.
it's running some sort of
It's still
flash program right
ESP32
now.
We
actually.
actually
It's
had
still
Pretty
this
in
biased.
really weird issue right now that Google Hangout doesn't show the rest of the people.
yeah. So I guess
Hmm.
Yeah,
we'll
the
just do
audio.
your avatar then.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is the M5.
Right.
Also, because you actually don't see what I'm holding up, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's the
Yeah.
problem. Well, I will show it anyway. It's a
You
maybe
show the link later. Show the link
we'll show the
and
link.
first.
We're only gonna post it on the Facebook page.
Yes, we
So
will post the affiliate links
I'll
for
also post
monies.
the really funny reading that we
Mhm.
had from a swimming sensor.
Ah, okay. Yeah, so we'll put a show note there.
Yeah.
So this is an M5 stick. It's an orange
Yeah.
5 centimeter by 2 centimeter by 1 centimeter box,
Mm.
which and
Yeah.
it's self-contained. It's quite cute. It has an LCD display, 3 buttons, powers by
Mm.
USB-C, has a Grove. So it's a very good for quick prototyping or for children because you don't have to
Yeah.
deal with chips and all of these things, right?
Yes.
So this came
Correct.
in yesterday. This one came in yesterday as well. This is the M5 stack. They call it M5 because they like the five. So it's 5 centimeter by 5 centimeter by, I think this is 2 or 3 centimeters probably.
Yeah.
And this
Yeah.
is a
The five
larger,
is 5 by 5.
yeah. So this is the one that the swimming was talking about with the sensor. So
Mm.
I just got the basic. I think you got the fire or something, right?
Correct. Correct.
Yeah. So
Basic is cool
the basic is fine for me.
because because one thing that they provide, you notice that there is actually a rail of GPIO pin. Notice
Yeah.
on the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
So you do not have a dedicated. You do not have a growth for UART, but you get the rest of the pin for prototyping,
There's
and
UART.
that's actually very cool.
Art
No, no,
are
no. You don't use the growth, but you manually connect it.
yes. Mm-hmm. So
So it's
you
just
can
four
use
pin.
the Grove. So there's I think there's two.
Yeah.
No, there's just one. So
Uh,
this one has
I
only
squared
one.
C.
Yeah, I squared C for the Grove connector, but you also have
Yeah.
UART. So you have two serial ports, not serial ports, but two serial
Yeah. Yeah.
universal
Yeah. Correct.
yeah, UART serial buses here. I don't even know if you should call it buses, but two of
Correct.
them, basically hardware. And
Yeah.
the ESP32 has support for software serial as well, so you can use any of the other
Yes.
GPIO pins as software serial, and that's it. That's great. Yeah, so it's actually
Mm-hmm.
quite good because again, it's self-contained. You don't have to deal with the
Mm-hmm.
electronics. You just need to know how to plug things
Yes.
into the sockets or to the ports and those
Mm-hmm.
things, and that's fine. So it's great for prototyping.
Correct.
I wouldn't call it a development board though. Yeah.
Yeah, because it doesn't do one thing that they don't do as a deployment board. You should show uh you should show it so that
Ah,
Chi Leong can show it on his presentation.
yeah.
Just
Is
hold
it
it a
is it
little.
working now, Chilyong? Is our YouTube
No,
feed?
it doesn't work.
No,
I
it
do not.
doesn't.
I don't
Okay.
actually understand
Mm.
what's the cause of it because
Okay.
normally it's
Okay.
just me clicking on the each other's icons.
Okay.
Okay,
Anyway,
doesn't matter for now.
It's fine. You can just post it on Facebook afterwards.
I will. Yeah, I
So the
will.
thing is, this is half of a dev board, right? So on
Yeah.
one hand, you can interface with hardware in many way, electronic component.
Mm-hmm.
On the other hand, it's you have to do less work. You have to do less work, quote unquote,
Mm-hmm.
because it's self-contained and ready to work
Yeah.
together. So I do not know. I would call it at least I would call it a development kit.
I would say it's a quick prototyping.
Yeah.
And if you want to, let's say, develop a product around it, like it
Yes.
already looks nice. So if you're doing a
Yes. Correct.
presentation, right, it looks nice. You can 3D print something on the side, plug it in, and it
Yeah.
already looks good. So
Correct.
this is a development board. This is an ESP32 in the Arduino form factor,
Yeah.
and it's a breadboard, and of
Mm.
course you can put it in the acrylic base
Mm-hmm.
that is usually designed for Arduinos. This is on
Mm-hmm.
the Arduino form factor. So you can see this is actually the board that I'm using to prototype the sensor to program
Yeah.
the sensor, right? So I just removed the sensor here, but you'll see I just finished some sort of serial output to OLED because I don't want to keep it connected to the computer. I want to see,
Yeah.
hey, is this still working? Because I'm now
Yes.
playing with sleep times to make sure that that the battery lasts for a long time. And
Yeah.
I can't put it in the computer because it's just not going to be like I'm going to be leaving it for quite some time. And so I just I put the OLED and uh, the serial
So
messages onto the OLED. So it's good. I think this is a development board because you have the Arduino form factor beside the
yeah,
breadboard. You can put whatever power you want onto the power rails, etc. And then you
yes,
have your jumpers and everything else. So that
Hmm.
is this is where I develop my stuff now.
yeah,
The most used one. This one is new. I just got it I think yesterday as well. This is an ESP32 with a battery holder. I don't have a battery with me right now,
yeah.
but you can put the battery in and you
Mm-hmm.
turn it on and then it's mobile. It's you solder in pins, which I will show you with pins soldered. This is a
Okay,
different one because this one has an OLED display
yeah.
on it, right? So it's the same thing. It's just this one has an OLED display. So you can solder pins. It's going to be like the M5 stack. It's just that this is a lot more exposed. It
It's not packaged.
Yeah,
I
it's
see.
not packaged. You have to solder your own pins basically. Um, this one I had a problem with because I was testing the overcharge protection for this
Mm-hmm.
one, and this actually does not have overcharge protection. So
Uh-huh.
I was surprised that the 18650 battery that I was using to charge it with,
Mm-hmm.
to charge this, to charge the 18650 with this, it's already reaching 4.3 volts,
Yeah.
and like I have to stop this because it's not supposed to reach 4.2 even. At
Yeah.
4.2, usually overcharge protection circuits are supposed to cut off at 4.2, but this one doesn't. So, I mean, it's still good. It's an all-in-one, but because I have the N5 stack now, I might want to use it. The only difference being that the M5 stack has an LCD and this one has an OLED.
Mm-hmm.
So if I
Yeah.
want like figuring out how to do it with OLED, then this one is better.
Yeah.
This one is interesting. I think you've seen this before, Swimming. This is a
Yeah.
Sonoff.
Yeah. 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 That's the one I'm talking about, the power
Yeah,
plug thing.
this is a Sonoff. So basically, it has two terminals, both so live and neutral on one end, live and neutral on the other
Yeah.
end, and it has an
Mm-hmm.
ESP8266, the younger brother of, or older,
No,
or
the
like
older brother.
less capable brother of
Yeah.
the ESP32. So, and what
Yes.
that means is that you have a microcontroller that has Wi-Fi access, and so that means
Mm-hmm.
if you put this in series with whatever switch or whatever thing you have on the other side, like a motor, probably not a motor, like a
A
light,
fan.
like yeah, a fan, a light, something that's less than 10 amps, because this is I wouldn't trust more than 10 amps on this. So not an air conditioner,
Yeah.
not a motor, but yeah, something small like lamps, something like yeah,
Table fan.
fans. Uh,
Small table fan.
yeah, toasters or whatever, like coffee makers, right? Then you can turn this on through Wi-Fi if you can program
Hmm.
it like that. And what people have been doing is, because this is an ESP8266, right? And you have an extra sensor inside, what you can do
Mm-hmm.
is you can actually put some sort of sensor,
Mm-hmm.
and people have been hacking this so that it can be where your garage, sorry, like let's say garage doors, right? It can check, so not garage doors but doors, for example, if the door closes, then that sensor fires and then sends you a message, for example. Or maybe when the door closes, it turns off the lights or something like that. So it
Mm-hmm.
becomes this is like your gateway to IoT, of
Smart
DIY
home.
IoT, yeah, for
Yeah.
the smart home stuff.
I would call this an actual IoT device than many marketing guys
Yeah.
say.
So this is
Hmm.
I'm sorry,
actually the
but
thing.
it is.
I'm one of my projects right now is actually replicating this as a DIY.
Uh-huh.
So I
Yeah.
just bought like an AC DC converter.
Yeah.
It's about to arrive, and I bought uh, a
Sorry, my.
relay with an optocoupler, and
Yeah.
that's generally what the Sonoff is. Like, it's an
Yeah.
AC/DC
So,
adapter so that you can power the chip, and also a relay which switches on or off depending on voltage applied to it. So
yeah.
that's interesting. And I have a few things here
Cool.
as well. This is the ESP32 cam. which is an ESP32 with a fisheye camera.
Okay.
And
Sorry.
what you can do is a same thing. So you can probably do something like a PIR, passive
Mhm.
infrared detector, which
Oh,
detects like, huge blobs of infrared, which is
Yeah.
usually humans, not pets, for example. And you can have it so when a human is detected, this wakes up because you can
Yeah.
put it in deep sleep with a sensor. You wake it up, and it takes like a video feed or a picture, and then it connects to Wi-Fi, sends over that particular detection. So it's actually quite small.
Yeah.
This is my. It's like less. It's smaller than the palm of my hand. You'd say like this is like what? um say
This
two
is
three
just
centimeters.
bigger than your just actually more than your 9 volt battery.
Yeah, like yeah, around the 9-volt battery, correct.
yeah.
Right, you can probably even so, and then it has an SD card as well, so
Yes.
if you want to spy on some people, you can use that too.
This one, I was looking at that. It's cheap, which is interesting, but
Cheap,
the
yeah.
programmability is a bit more difficult for me. But just because I'm lazy, you just don't have a USB programmable way lah.
Mm,
Just me
yeah,
being lazy.
yeah,
But there is a very interesting hardware actually.
it is, yeah,
I can't
it's
wait for people to actually implement I'm thinking,
oh, they're doing face detection on the chip itself as well.
yeah, correct. So
Face detection
I'm waiting for people to implement TensorFlow on it.
on an edge device, really.
No. It's called
Swimming,
the TensorFlow for
swimming,
microcontroller. It's
Hmm.
actually announced during the this year's TensorFlow conference,
swimming,
and they actually have some demo for Google I/O.
Yeah.
swimming,
So
swimming.
so I'm very interested in that.
You
Somebody
know,
actually implemented.
you know,
Yes.
Swimming.
swimming. You
Yeah.
are somebody. The somebody
Well,
is you.
speaking of speaking of facial recognition, I'm segueing a bit. San Francisco just banned it.
Yeah,
Mm.
but I know, we need to look at the law here. But in Malaysia,
Yeah.
we are
So
more
I
like UK.
Yeah, so I wouldn't say that it's a ban on facial recognition technology. It's a ban on the usage of facial recognition by law enforcement. So
Oh
there's
yeah,
a
For surveillance and stuff.
yeah yeah, because you wouldn't know, right? Like
Mm,
it
yes,
might be used by some things, but and
by
there
the
might be
government,
by the
yeah.
government or by like malls, for example, on these
yeah,
things. But for like personal use inside your home, I don't think they're going to ban it like that.
yeah. But put it this
Yeah,
way,
because it's quite related.
Mm.
for Malaysia, and we are a bit leaning toward China, and in a way,
Mm,
UK already have that for years. UK are one of the country with the most CCTV. London is one of the city most surveyed.
Mhm.
So, and because the reason why it's so successful in the UK and all that is because every time a children got stopped from kidnapped thanks to this camera, people want more of them.
Mhm.
So
yeah.
it's unfortunately these are those places where there's no absolute government had too much power, but I got safety.
Mhm.
So I don't have a good answer for that, but it's something to think about. But here's I go off topic a bit. One problem with people talking about technology is they're hoping technology to do the absolute right thing.
Yeah.
What I want for technology is there is opportunity for us to argue our case.
Yeah. Mhm.
There is something that people don't usually talk about when I talk about surveillance or artificial intelligence based technology. This is a bit off topic.
Mhm.
Next week, topic a programmable camera.
Mhm.
Next week, I will show. I will do some demo on my OpenNV camera. Very similar to the ESP camera that you have,
Mhm.
but this one have actual support for running small scale neural network, deep
So
learning
it's
network.
a lot more powerful than the 32.
No, it's no. Actually, the ESP32 is a lot more powerful. It's
Oh,
roughly
okay.
compatible, but
Uh-huh.
the difference is the ARM technology. They actually
Ah,
spend time to build the optimize a library deep learning library
I
for
see.
their devices.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Whereas the ESP32 is not exactly ARM; it's their own thing.
Yeah.
So they didn't spend time to build on that yet.
It's a 10 silica. If
Yeah,
you
correct.
X10 silica, um, I don't know. I don't
So
know
I
what you call
think
ARM. Yeah, the core.
it's
Yeah,
another architecture.
architecture. Yeah. So because you have your ARM architecture, the
Yeah,
x86 architecture,
correct.
AM64, then you
Yes.
have X10 silica,
Yeah,
the Atmega, the AVR, sorry, AVR, which is the
yeah,
Atmega Arduino stuff.
yeah.
Yeah. So I have like other collections here. So this is from Gravitech, the Node 32S Lite.
Oh,
It's
okay. This
actually from
from Thailand
Thailand.
one.
Yeah, this is from Thailand.
Oh,
It's
I
nice.
might know
explains
the
the
guy.
colors.
Sorry, what
Yeah,
you were saying?
The
yeah,
colors.
yeah. It explains the
Yeah,
colors
yeah,
from
yeah,
Thailand.
yeah. So this is. Oh, is this the colors of Thailand? I don't know. So it's nicely
Oh,
labeled with pins, etc.
Mhm.
Um, this is this is actually a lot better than the Node MCU, which is this. So this is like the original the original ESP32 development board when it first came out. When ESP32 first came out after the ESP8266, this was the one, the Node MCU. But Thailand made their own chip. Well, it's the same chip, but they made their own breakout board.
Yeah.
And I like it better because you'll see, for example, that it's a lot it's thinner, and so it actually fits the breadboard better, because when you put this on the breadboard, then you have two rows on the other side. So you have one row on the left side, one row on the right side
Mhm.
on the breadboard. Whereas this Node MCU, you can only put it like one row on the right side, and then there's no other rows on the left side, or you can put it one row here, left side, and no other rows on the right side. I don't have a
Yeah.
breadboard. Actually, I do. So I can quickly show you. If I put this here, you'll see that it's already on the edge.
Mhm.
Whereas if I put the Thailand made one, then you'll see that there's actually like one more row and one more row at the bottom. So this is actually more breadboard friendly than the original Node MCU. Plus, it comes in a really nice package, and it's not that much more expensive than
No,
the
it's not.
Node MCU. So it's actually quite good. And of course, I have
So I will
original Node.
support them for another reason.
Yeah.
I know the guy.
Okay, cool. Yeah. So this is the 32S. Citron only sells the 32S.
Yeah.
At the cheap price. The other one, the Note 32, the Pro or something, whatever, has like
Yeah.
charging circuits and whatever. It's expensive. This is
Yeah.
like 36 ringgit or something, less than 40.
Yes.
Yeah. So it
The
came into this package. So it's actually quite nice. I stopped the
36.
yeah. On the other side is the Node MCU 8266. So this is the
Yeah.
original one.
Mhm.
And I don't have the ESP01 here, unfortunately, but I do have the chip in its bare
Yeah.
configuration, ESP8266. I actually have two. I don't know why I
I
have
think we
two.
need to stage an intervention for Tristan.
And I have
No, it's
I
fine.
have a
It's
yellow
fine.
board development as well.
At least he's
So I
doing
have
something with it. He's just not
Yeah,
holding
yeah,
it,
yeah,
working
correct.
on it.
So yeah, I've been programming stuff here with like Espruino with JavaScript in it, trying to see if I can get mruby in it. So most
wow.
likely, I'll just show this one again. This is
Uh-huh.
probably my go-to board, just
Yep.
because it's so much easier to break things out.
Mhm.
And if I am going to have to, like for the sensor project, for example, I'm probably going to use one of these chips, just the chip itself, and then do
Mhm.
my own circuit. If it's too much of a bother, then I'll probably do something like with this, with a breakout board. The problem with the
Mhm.
breakout board is that there's so many passive components
Mhm.
that you can't really control the deep sleep current draw. So it's
Yeah.
supposed to have just 12 microamps, but because of all the transistors, resistors, whatever, it's all eating up uh, energy. And so you'll have something like 65 microamps to like even like 1 milliamp. And that's a lot in terms of for an embedded device, right? You want for some of the really low deep sleep stuff can run on a coin cell battery because it doesn't draw a lot of things.
Oh
You're just
yeah.
you're just
I mean,
running a sensor every 5 minutes. And it's like, and every runtime of that sensor is like just a few seconds. Then you don't want to keep wasting time and wasting energy getting connected to Wi-Fi. It's just connecting to Wi-Fi already like consumes what 75 milliamps of
correct.
energy.
So microcontroller
Yeah.
device have this capability, which is why I think we should spend some time to actually invest deeper knowledge to it,
As software
because
developers, right?
yeah, it's very capable. It's a different sort of capability.
Yeah,
It's a different sort of superpower, I would call it.
yeah. So, um, you are limited by the amount of RAM and the amount of processing power and the amount
Mm-hmm.
of space that you can have on the compiled binary. But the upside of that, so it's a trade-off. The trade-off there is that you can deploy all of these things in the physical world and then just leave it there,
Yep.
right? So, like for example, the sensor project that we're doing, we can deploy it outside of a building, leave it there
Mm-hmm.
for 6 months, and it's still going to like give you sensor data, and you don't have to keep it plugged in. Like for example, in my office, there are no holes in the windows. Basically, like the windows are all panes of glass,
Mm-hmm.
and when you close it, it's closed, and you can't run like an electric cord outside to the ledges. And so
Mm-hmm.
I will have to put it like in a box that's somewhat watertight, and then have like a small hole for the air to come in and hole to get out, probably a
Mm-hmm.
solar panel on top, and then just leave it there because it you can deploy it as what you're calling that as an edge device, right? And it's a completely different way of thinking about things. So it's
So
like I
yes.
think
Right.
we owe it to ourselves as software developers to understand the different capabilities, because we're like many people probably are just used to just the web as the deployment platform,
Yep.
whereas there are many different deployment platforms. There's like the assembly plants, right,
Mm-hmm.
that has the deployment platforms. Yeah, like we were talking about the Maxis IoT. What are all of these smart city things?
Correct.
These are like where the yeah, the air sensor qualities, the traffic stuff,
Mm-hmm.
the foot traffic by people,
Yes.
Wi-Fi congestion. Let's say, I don't know. There's a
On
lot of
network management, so if you have a chance
Mm.
to write network level stuff, that's a very different way than your typical web application.
mm-hmm,
And it's something where it's very enlightening. I have a chance to do something similar. Understanding a system is actually very good for you to not do silly thing. You had
mm-hmm.
the insight on why your web application behaves certain way.
Yeah,
So even though you won't be using it directly, but my experience working on system level stuff is actually very useful. Even though I don't directly use it, but that's my personal experience. So
that's actually quite good. That um, I would say that many people would benefit from past experience, even if it's not related to software,
yes,
because there it always gives you a different perspective with regard to looking at things, right? Like it
correct.
whatever your past experience, it becomes a lens with which you view the world.
And this leads to my next week, maybe next week or one day I will review a book called Coders by
Mm-hmm.
Stephen Levy.
Mm-hmm.
It have something along this line as well.
Mm.
It's called Coders. It's a very new book by Stephen Levy.
Mm-hmm. Yep, looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Yes, somehow
Uh,
I don't know how yet.
so we should actually wrap up right now.
Yes.
So
Sure.
So anything on YouTube?
no,
Okay, I think people hate
Nothing.
us. Over.
no, there are actually people watching, but they are silent.
All right.
So
Probably because
and
they don't see swimming anymore, so they said,
yeah,
ah,
it's a bit of a disappointment.
Yeah. Mm.
So we probably need to figure out the next way to do this recording next time.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yep.
So consider that I think Skype is a reasonable way. I might need to. I think it works on Linux, so it should be fine.
Yeah.
mm,
Let's try it out. Let's do a
Yeah.
pilot.
Again, yeah. So
Let's do a
it
pilot
works
for it.
before, so it should work again.
Yeah. Right.
So-
I think it's time to say goodbye to the
Yeah, goodbye,
listeners
man.
today.
All right. See ya.
Yes.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.
Peace out.